The House of Representatives is expected to hold a hearing on whistleblower David Grusch's claims that the United States government has several intact and partially intact vehicles of non-human origin obtained through a retrieval program, and that they concealed this information from the general public. According to Grusch, who left the government in April, the government was accumulating these aircraft, or these unidentified craft, for decades.
Republican chair of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer, confirmed, quote, there will be oversight and they, quote, plan on having a hearing looking into the claims. Comer added that he heard about Grusch's statements, but said, quote, I don't know anything about it. Let's play again that clip of David Grusch discussing these issues on News Nation.
If you're right, if you're telling us the truth, everyone, the entire American public, has been lied to for decades.
Yeah, there's a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone.
So look, I'm very glad that Republicans are going to look into this. I think that's very appropriate to hold hearings, to talk to him, and then also to talk to, because he's saying he has talked to people who have knowledge of this situation of these aircrafts. And this is part of my frustration with the kind of UFO and alien reporting in general. That it's always we're always hearing from secondhand from someone that they know someone who in the government or who, with awareness who knows the things. Let's actually talk to that person. This is why I'm so skeptical, because we never hear from that person. We're always hearing, I know someone who knows someone who saw a report or saw the crafts in question, which at some level when you like put up or shut up, like deliver. Or else this is just, you know, my friend caught a tuna that was this big when they went fishing.
Yeah, look, I do think that part of what, I take your point, but part of what is making people feel like Grusch is more credible and that there's a there is because he is someone who did have greater access to these kind of materials than other people would have, and that he is someone who has a really good reputation within the government, so that there's a question as to why he would try to blow up his own credibility in his professional life to come forward with these kinds of claims if they weren't in fact true. Now, there's this interesting question of, well, he doesn't have firsthand knowledge, so even if he believed what he was being told, it does seem odd to put so much faith in a third party without having firsthand knowledge of something. So I, again, understand the level of skepticism there, but that's exactly why, to your point, having an actual hearing on this where we could actually get evidence subpoenaed that is more proximate to the actual source would be really interesting.
Let's hear from the primary sources what they have to say. Where are these crafts being stored? Where are the parts?
That's the part that is most difficult to explain.
No. I'm just curious.
The X-Files. You know how they were buried in the desert in those like containers? I don't know.
All right, let's haul them out. Let's see them. Let's take some pictures.
Yeah, I also do think that there has been this issue is exciting to people because different folks are projecting different conclusions and consequences onto the possibility of there being intelligent life elsewhere. There are people who find there to be significant religious implications about the existence of one traditional God if there are all these other life forms on other planets. Some people have these kind of national security concerns about it. What does it mean? Are they benevolent or malevolent? Are they working with the U.S. government? Are there technological resources that can be beneficial? Some people think that this is a threat to capitalism. If there is an alien with superior technology that can undermine, basically resolve scarcity and cure illnesses and provide endless food and resources and materials, what does that mean about our economic system as it's being currently run? And people who have the power today, because of their own resource control, what happens when we don't need what they're selling? How does this affect society? And so there are people who are invested in this for different reasons and who want this story to be true for those various reasons. The question is, can a hearing like this actually get to the bottom of it if this stuff is truly classified and buried?
Just raising kind of random concerns. I mean, the last time, like in Earth history, where something approaching this, the magnitude of this happened, is when European settlers arrive in the Americas, and what happens to the people in the Americas? They all die of disease. I mean, some for many reasons, but genocide, conquest. But even when it was attempted to be peaceful.
At what point was it attempted to be peaceful?
Well, some of the settlers to North America were. Look, I'm not trying to. But I'm saying even when the intention was not to kill the entire native population because of disease, that was almost the impact.
Yes, and the choice to hunt
aliens?
The primary food source to extinction, the buffaloes, and the choice to mass exterminate people. I mean, there were a lot of things that went into Native American genocide.
Anyway, but
like the disease was purposefully given with smallpox blankets. It wasn't just, oops, I coughed on you and you got sick because we were sharing this Thanksgiving.
Well, there was a lot. It was not always intentional, but
the point of the matter is, I don't think that you can presume that there's malevolence in these interactions. Although I did see some reporting that it implied as much here. I mean, the question is also, if there is a genuine threat, then why again is the government invested in suppressing that instead of mobilizing against it? You know what I mean? I'm much more concerned with, I don't mean to keep referencing every sci-fi show in the world, but I'm much more concerned about the kind of Alien Nation version of it, where there are like good aliens, but there's also this kind of clandestine relationship with other
life forms
for political control. And
you were talking, we were talking off camera, you bring up statistics, like the likelihood, you think it's very unlikely that
we're the only intelligent life in the universe,
I might accept that, but I think it just might not be the case. That I think civilizations might die out before it's the great filtering, before they reach light speed capability, or if there even is light speed capability. Like, what will be left over, think about what will still be left over when we die out, when the Earth goes extinct. Maybe our satellites, our technology, maybe a sufficiently advanced AI, that kind of thing. I think we're far more likely to interact with computer intelligences from if there are other civilizations out there, than the aliens themselves and the organic life forms.
Yeah,
that's what I would think.
We've been talking about the machine bits.
We got a little robot guy. It's a robot spacecraft and a robot.
Well, here's
buried
what,
in the desert.
Grusch did weigh in on this a little bit. He said, naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you uncover dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true. Is it? That is the question, though. It is a big, if true, situation. Have they just recovered machine parts? Is there intelligent life along with them? Is it a machine from a millennia ago that was drifting through space and happened to crash into our orbit, but it's a relic from a lost time, as though we dug up a Mayan ruin or something like that?
Happened to crash into. I mean, that's pretty unlikely too. To just. Been floating out there. I mean, the universe is a big place. Oh, wow, we're lucky it crashed. I mean, there would have to be so many of them to keep crashing into Earth. Are like abandoned spacecraft crashing into Mars all the time? Are they crashing into Hong Kong? Are they crashing anywhere but the American Southwest? That's my major hang-up
here. We wouldn't know. I mean, just the same way that the American public doesn't know what's going on in America. Why would we be any more privy to something that crashed in Russia or China? I say Russia or China just because they're the biggest land masses in the world.
Seems like a really successful cover-up, given...
Well, I know that your eyes are going to be glued to this hearing, Robbie.
I guess
truthing it out, a regular Scully and Mulder over here.
I guess so. All right, that does it for us for today. Jessica Burbank and Amber Athey actually interviewed Michael Schellenberger on Friday on this subject, so you should go back and take a look at that, and we'll have more Rising for you after this.